Hi, I'm Kath from KathleenRobb.com, and thank you so much for joining me today um, for today's topic, which is putting your raised cholesterol into context. So, cholesterol is one of these things that people often get really worried about. And yes, I like to address anything that is out of a reference range and I like to think about it. But I think it's really important with cholesterol that we don't just see it as a raised marker that we just want to squash back down again and forget about. It's it's an interesting marker that tells us a lot about the body, and I think it's really worth giving some consideration to and to understanding what it's there for, so that we can more appropriately address it. So, when cholesterol is raised, the first thing that I want to think about is what type of cholesterol is raised. So let's do a bit of a risk assessment. Okay, total cholesterol is raised. Is it the LDL? If so, what are the particle sizes and which particle sizes of LDL are raised? Because it's only the very low density ones that are more concerning than the higher density ones. I also want to know if the triglycerides are raised and how that compares to HDL, so a bit of a ratio. And we want to see if that individual has more lipoprotein A or lipoprotein B to determine which is more of a risk factor than the other. So it's really putting into a bit of context around exactly what is going on with the cholesterol. So not just a matter of, okay, cholesterol's raised, let's get it down, but okay, hang on, let's look at the details. What is raised? How is it all relating to each other? So that's the first thing. And this is because there are some HDL cholesterol is a bit more protective. So if it is raised higher and that's increasing the total cholesterol, that's less of a concern than if HDL is really low, but the total cholesterol is higher. And likewise, triglycerides are of more concern than large density, high density particles might be, or the larger version of the LDL particles is less concerning than the very low density. So we just kind of want to get a bit more detail of what's happening and properly look at it. Now, if someone does have raised cholesterol, we've established what's going on, we might have started a treatment regime if that's necessary. I don't want to just leave it there. I also want to know, okay, why would cholesterol be raised for this person? Why would it be raised? It's not just a matter of, oh, it's high, let's lower it. It's like, why is it high? Let's understand what is happening for this person. Now, they used to be thinking that if we ate high cholesterol foods, we would have high cholesterol in our blood. It doesn't really work that way because our body also makes cholesterol. So why would our body make cholesterol if it's this bad thing? It's not in itself a bad thing. Our body makes cholesterol because we need it. We use cholesterol to make hormones such as cortisol and sex hormones. We use it to strengthen cell membranes. So it's kind of like the foundation wall of your home. It's like the strong part of the cell membrane. We use it to make vitamin D. So once our skin gets in contact with sunlight, that triggers a chemical response to convert cholesterol over many steps into vitamin D. So we have all these uses for cholesterol in our body. So why would we make cholesterol? We would make it because we need it. So is this person running on stress and having to make lots and lots of cortisol? Because then they're going to have to make lots and lots of cholesterol in order to make lots and lots of cortisol. Does this person have low vitamin D and they're trying to make cortisol and trying to make cholesterol in the hope that they'll go out in the sun and convert it? Why is there disruption to the sex hormones? Why is it that this person will be making more cholesterol in their body? We can also think about in terms of we take cholesterol in our food and we eliminate it through our digestive tract. So if we have high cholesterol, are we eliminating it? Yes, we can look at what food is coming in and what cholesterol is coming in the diet and maybe some preferable choices. But it's also important to look at, is elimination happening? Is there a regular bowel motion? Is there a lot of fiber in the diet? Are they, you know, making bile salts to deal with the cholesterol and eating enough fiber to kind of package the cholesterol out and take it through the digestive system so they're not absorbing every piece of cholesterol that they're eating? So we look at the diet and digestion and look at how that has an impact on cholesterol. And then we also want to look at other drivers of cholesterol where dysfunction could be causing cholesterol. So, for example, a low functioning thyroid, because the thyroid is like the metabolic switch of the body, a low functioning thyroid would mean a lower production of bile salts and a lower processing and eliminating of cholesterol. So we're going to build up our cholesterol if we have an underfunctioning thyroid. That is, in fact, one of the signs and symptoms that we look out for that might indicate someone has an underfunctioning thyroid. So that's worth checking out too, because that can lead to other issues. So I'm really keen when someone comes to me with their high cholesterol. Yes, I'm keen to look at what type of cholesterol. Is it a more high risk kind? Is it less of a risk? Let's address it. And I'm also keen to look upstream. What's happening with their diet? What's happening with their digestion? What's happening with their vitamin D, with their cortisol, with their sex hormones, and with their thyroid? All of these are important players that have an impact on the cholesterol level that you're presenting with. I'm then also really keen to look at, okay, you've got raised cholesterol, but where does this sit in the greater cardiovascular risk? Because people are concerned about their cholesterol because of the press around it being a risk factor for cardiovascular health. So sure, let's look at the cholesterol itself as a risk factor, but let's also look at the broader risk factors for cardiovascular health and make sure they're all assessed. How is blood pressure? How's the calcium artery score? How's the stickiness of the blood or the thinness of the blood? Are there family history of cardiovascular issues? Is there insulin resistance? High blood sugar, high insulin. So looking at all these other players that might impact cardiovascular health, as well as does this person have the diet and lifestyle that is higher risk around cardiovascular health, or are they living in a really healthy way supporting of their cardiovascular health? So as you can see, it's not just a matter of high cholesterol, lower the cholesterol. It's a matter of looking at, okay, what's upstream, what's downstream, and what is the fine detail of what's in front of me, to really look at cholesterol as a whole picture and address the whole person when it comes to their cholesterol health. So I hope if you have raised cholesterol yourself that this is informative, hopefully a bit reassuring, and hopefully gives you some direction of what you need to have looked at and discussed with your healthcare practitioner. If you would like support in checking out your raised cholesterol and maybe looking further into it in all these things that we've just discussed, then please reach out, book an appointment or book a discovery call, and we can chat about what's happening for you and how I can help. Okay, thanks. Have a great day. Bye.